welcome to Moments with Marianne. I'm so delighted we're spending this time here today. We have a very inspiring show coming right up with our very special guest, John Paul DeJoria, and he's here today to share with us not only his work with Abio Life Sciences, but also a very special announcement. Very excited about this. So most of you know John Paul. He is an entrepreneur and philanthropist, and he's best well known as the co-founder of Paul Mitchell, the hair care line, and the ever popular Patron Spirits Company. Many of you know that as well. He's also been involved with the Sea Shepherd Conservation Society, which is an international nonprofit marine wildlife conservation organization. And he's here today to share with us not only all the great things he's working on, but also, again, like I said, a very special surprise. So let's welcome to the show, John Paul DeJoria.
Well, thank you very much, Marianne.
Oh, what a pleasure it is to have you here. And, of course, to talk about all these great things you're working on. My goodness, you are a busy guy.
That's for sure. I've been very graced to be able to wake up every morning and do something, and hopefully a lot of what I do is going to be things that will benefit many other people. So, happy guy here. Hello from Austin, Texas.
Hello. Well, and that reminds me, I've been asked, I've been wondering, what inspires you to work with some of the amazing brands and people you do?
Well, I get up in the morning, and I definitely want to fill my day. I'm very, very fortunate to wake up 99% of the time, I would say, as a happy person, and very pleased with some of the things that I do in life, and more important, that I'm able to do things that benefit the environment as well as people. It's interesting when you start getting involved, whether it's volunteering your time or even making a financial contribution or the combination of both, where you know you're doing something while we're here on this planet Earth to do something good for others. It's one of the greatest highs you will ever get in your life. And that's one statement would be, do something for someone else, whether it's the environment or people, asking nothing in return other than you're doing something. It makes you feel incredible. So that's one of the motivations. I just feel good doing it.
Oh, and that's such a great place to come from. Where do you think that sense of doing for others and being involved in the community, where does that come from in your life?
I think it all started back when I was about 6 years old. My mom, my brother, and I kind of grew up together. My father was a deadbeat dad and kind of disappeared before I was 2 years old. But so we didn't have much. We lived in Echo Park, California, mainly. And at 6 years old at Christmas time, my mother took my brother and I to downtown Los Angeles. And in those days, downtown LA was a little different. They had some really great department stores down there, and kids would go down there Christmas time, and in the windows would be full of puppets, and little trains would be outside going around in circles. And it was like, wow, look at this beautiful thing that we're doing or watching, and seeing these great Christmas decorations and moving things. And we thought we were the luckiest kids in the world. Of course, it cost nothing. It was just for observation, but it was great. Anyways, that year my mom took my brother and I and gave us a dime and told us, boys, hold half of this each. We're little kids, so we could easily hold half the dime. And go over and put in that man that's ringing the bell with the red bucket, and we did. And we came back and asked my mom, Mom, why did we give that person a dime? Because in those days, it was 2 big soda pops or 3 candy bars. And Mom said, boys, that's the Salvation Army. They take care of people who don't have houses or food to eat. And, we're very fortunate. We have a place to live, and, we have food to eat. And you always remember, boys, that, this year we could only afford a dime. That's all we could afford. But we wanted to give something. In life, always try and help someone out. There's always going to be someone that needs it more than you. And it's just something that stuck with me, and I never forgot. So as I was growing up, even in days as my teenage years or early 20s when I didn't have any money, it just felt good. I would volunteer in at Thanksgiving and at Christmas, show up at a place called Griffith Park, where they had all these lines going on with people that wanted a dinner. Some were homeless, and some, I guess, just had very little money. And it was, hundreds of people, maybe thousands. There were just so many there. And I volunteered to serve in the line, where I would actually serve food to people. And it was a great joy where I was giving back, and I felt good.
There's always something about when you give back, how that makes you feel, and that just the involvement of helping other people. I mean, there's no greater experience, I think, than that.
For sure. And in my businesses, I try to do the same, where I produce a product that's very beneficial to the customer first. I've always said that in business, we should not be in the selling business, meaning that you do everything just to sell something to somebody. We should be in the reorder business, where your service or your product is so good, people will want to reorder it, or if it's a one-time sale, it's so good, people want to tell other people about it. This way you have longevity and total customer satisfaction, where you're truly filling a need in the marketplace. And this has worked very well with Paul Mitchell and the quality of their hair care products. Patron, of course, as being an ultra-premium tequila. John Paul Pet, really superior products that were good for pets. And, of course, any of my new inventions. So I kind of go in that same direction.
Well, it seems that you, during your life, from the things I've read and videos I've seen, that you really find opportunity. It's kind of, this is your superpower. You find opportunity where, other people aren't maybe seeing it, and you use such creativity when you do that.
And it's a risk. Many times you'll do things like when we started Paul Mitchell back in 1980, our backer pulled out. We had no money and started the company with $700. Now, that was a risk. I lived in my car at the time, and, we barely could make our payments on time for any bills we had. It took 2 years before we could actually pay our bills on time. And then we knew we had it made. We just believed that what we had was the best hair care product there was, and we put it in the hands of enough hairdressers to use it, because we had no advertising budget, that they would use it, recommend it to their customers, and want to repeat use it. And by gosh, that's worked for the last 38 years with Paul Mitchell. We're still, considered one of the top hair care products ever.
Well, and I love, I heard also that when you had Patron Tequila, that you had actually, when you first acquired it, you were going kind of door to door, kind of selling it, getting people
actually,
involved.
That's what we started. I didn't acquire it. I started it with Martin Crowley and I back in 1989. We started Patron. I'm the co-founder of Patron. And we did. People, weren't used to a $37 bottle of tequila. In those days, it was, I think, about a $5 average for a bottle of tequila. Maybe your better ones were $14, $15 at the most. So everyone said, the distributors we tried to get distribute our product wouldn't do it. They said it may be the best there is, best we've ever tasted, but no one's going to pay $37 a bottle. So basically went out door to door. I know Martin, his first call was on the Baja Cantina. And mine was on my friend Wolfgang Puck, who had Spago's restaurant. I was very fortunate to have Wolfgang as a buddy, and he tasted and said, JP, this is really, really good. I'll gladly serve it at Spago's restaurant, which was the hottest restaurant at the time, and serve it to my celebrity guests, and he did. And it was things like that in other doors. We went door to door on, or I should say bar to bar, restaurant to restaurant, letting them taste it and see the difference.
Oh, my gosh. That's probably what started the whole tequila craze.
Oh, it did. Yeah, we did. We were the first to introduce ultra-premium tequilas, and it worked very, very well. We were selling way over 3 million cases a year last year, way over 3 million cases a year for our whole company. And it was pretty cool. It was nice to see a brand that nobody wanted to take on. And when we finally took on a big distributor, they said, you'll never do more than 20,000 cases a year. You have the best tequila, but it's so expensive, no one's going to buy it. Well, we proved them wrong. We believed what we had was correct, and we went for it, and worked out quite well.
It seems that when you really believe in something, that's what is kind of a driving force behind making it happen.
Oh, yeah, definitely. In fact, when people ask what are some of the big challenges and how do you overcome them in almost anything you do, whether it's business-wise or sometimes in your personal life, and I say, be prepared. Be prepared to overcome rejection. You're going to get it. In other words, when people tell you no or close the door on you, don't take that as, okay, 10 people said it's not good, it's not going to work, they don't want to talk to me, I'm going to give up. If you know rejection is going to come, and you know it, then it's a lot easier to handle it and just continue on. Now, I learned this selling encyclopedias door to door in my early 20s. I sold Collier's encyclopedias door to door. No leads, no appointments, just cold calling and commission only. But I believe what they told me. The average encyclopedia salesman lasted 3 days. It's commission only. But they said the guys that really make it are the ones that have 100 doors closed in their face, and they're just as enthusiastic on door number 101. And then you're going to overcome it. You're going to get better. It'll be great. Well, I lasted 3.5 years. I believed them. Now, it took me a week before I made a presentation and made a sale, but I just believed it, kept on going, and no matter who said no or I'm not interested, or some of them rudely closed the door in my face, which I can understand, I just kept on going just as enthusiastically because I believe what they said, that you got to be prepared for rejection. You're going to get it, and don't let it get you down. And the ones that make it are the ones that don't give up. And I believe them, and it worked. It worked pretty good. I lasted 3.5 years, and as a young man, I made some pretty good money.
Well, and what a great key to success, because a lot of times when people hear no and get that rejection, they take it personally, like, ooh. Yeah. And that's why I think a lot of people also kind of fizzle out on opportunities that could really shine for them because they kind of quit too early.
Oh, definitely. And we're human. That's a human thing to do. People say no, no, no. And as humans, we many times get quite discouraged because there's nothing on the other side that is saying, hey, it's okay. You're going to get a whole bunch of no's. Don't worry about it. They said no. They closed the door in your face. They don't want to talk to you. Your parents don't like this. Your friends don't like this. Everyone says you're not going to make it, but it's the best there is. So I point out to people that in life, your service or your product has got to be the best. So no matter what anybody says, you know that if you get enough hands, they're going to reorder. Or it's the same in our personal lives. We know we're right about something, and everyone may say to us, no, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, but we believe we're right. And if we believe we're right and know we're right and we're not hurting anybody at the same time, then let's move forward.
Yeah. Without a doubt. Well, and you're doing that, gosh, you're also involved in Abio Life Sciences, which we talked about probably like a year or two ago. And
when we first launched it, and right now Abio, spelled AUBIO, the Abio, by the way, stands for AU is the word for gold in chemistry. Bio, of course, nature, like nature's gold. And what we found was that, in fact, this is from the World Health Organization, that about 2/3 of all the people on our planet, that's 3.7 billion people, have the cold sore virus. Now, there's many things out there for cold sores. Some work, some don't work. But we ran across, and it started with the Native Americans hundreds of years ago, with the Native Americans, where if they got anything on their skin, they would rub this lotion on it, and much of it was from carnivorous plants like the Venus flytrap, and all of a sudden would go away. So going back in history, when I believe it was the British in the 1600s, were trying to eradicate the Native Americans, they gave them blankets that were from smallpox patients. Well, there was no defense system in their system, so it was killing them left and right, but it kind of stopped before it got to the Ohio Valley, and it wasn't working anymore. Well, it's because the medicine men in that area, you take this plant with any kind of a skin thing, you rub it on you, and it works. Well, it knocked out and stopped the smallpox. And we've tested on, obviously, people that have the cold sore virus, and just amazed at the results. Everyone I personally gave it to, it worked, and it worked within a couple of days. And I mean everyone, including some of my assistants and their families, where, you get a tingle when a cold sore virus or a canker sore, one of those come out, you kind of put it on, and in many cases, it didn't come out. And then when it did come out, they would put it on every hour or two, and it's kind of invisible. And within 2 days, everyone I ever gave it to, it was gone. And I thought, wow, this is great. And if we can make it available at a reasonable price, like now it's priced at $19.95 a tube, we could be reasonable. It could be plant-based because the main ingredients are coming from plants. And then all of a sudden you have something that works, and you're taking care of plants along the way, where the plants that people don't normally use are now used to cure things. So it was a very exciting venture, and right now we pulled it back because the FDA wanted us to do some more studies, which we did, by the way, and we have it out right now. It's on Amazon. I know all the Rite Aid stores have it. Every Rite Aid store does have it, and there's a few others that are just taking it on right now. Or, again, you can go online and read about it. Abio.com, I think, is where you go online.
Well, I bought some for my entire team, and everyone loved it. The producer.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, he was like, man, I get cold sores every year. I've had them since I was a kid, and this is the only thing that works.
Yeah. It's really amazing stuff, really amazing. And when it first came out, it was so expensive. We had to sell it for a little over $40. But then as we were able to get better supplies and everything else came out, then we said, well, heck, let's just pass it on to the consumer. So we dropped their price down to, now we can't afford to, down to $19.95. We thought that's just a magic number to give people a helping hand.
Well, and hey, the holidays are coming up. What a great time to purchase this for the people you love. It's great stocking stuffers. Yep. Everyone can use this. Absolutely.
It works. It's pretty cool.
Well, and also, I mean, gosh, because, as young people, when they have cold sore breakouts, I mean, it really attacks their self-esteem. And they feel like,
gosh, yeah. Holy cow. Even younger people are great, but even people that aren't quite so young. If you have a cold sore on your lip, I won't forget this. It was about 2 years ago, I think. The new prime minister or president of Greece was on the air because Greece was going through some financial problems. And he went on there to talk his point of view, and he had a cold sore right on his lip. I thought, oh, poor guy. Everyone's looking at that cold sore on his lip.
Oh, he's super stressed because that's some of the stuff that brings that out. My goodness.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And to have something that's so easy to help with that, my goodness, what a great, I love it. Everyone that works with me, they've got it, family, friends, everyone. So this Christmas they're going to be getting some again too.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, and so, I know you've always got something that you're working on, and you're so busy. Yep. I don't know if you have anything else that you can share with us that you're working on, because I know some things are kind of private, but I thought I would just ask.
I'll tell you one, because we'll be making announcements fairly soon on it. I've been working on this for over a decade and spent millions of dollars on it. It's a new wave of how we use cellular phones. We are very, very fortunate to be involved with, shall we say, one of the agencies of our U.S. government that really helps people out a lot. It's our space agency. Anyways, we'll actually have a phone. They're being made right now. That instead of having all that radiation going to your skull, it's reduced considerably. So they say don't put the phone next to your ear. Well, don't, because I believe it was in Europe and other places it appeared that it may have caused cancer. Well, this is one way to get rid of the radiation, and one of the phones we're making will be a 3D phone, where when you look at it, and let's say you have a 3D movie in there, and this is like, real thin smartphone, it's three-dimensional. And then you actually turn your phone upside down and say, well, wait a minute, where are those lights coming from? How can something so thin that I'm looking at? And the phone will be called Rock, R-O-K, Rock Mobile is the company. And then we decided that let's give people a helping hand. How many people's lives are changed when somebody dies? The family has no life insurance, but yet they want to, have a burial. And I think the average funeral is about $7,000. And that's just, to just kind of get by with it. So we came out on our phones also with a special app that's coming with it, where not only are you on Wi-Fi to make, I guess your calls any place you want on Wi-Fi, it's hooked up to it, but also where you get life insurance for a matter of dollars. Where it's like, for example, depends on the country we're selling it in, but let's say the United States, if you die by accident, you get $100,000. If it's regular burial insurance, $20,000. Roadside assistance, telemedicine, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, there's a doctor on the phone with you. We got the patent many years ago on bundling on a mobile phone, so we're able to do that. And when you do it for a matter of just, in the dollars, not in the hundreds of dollars, it's like, wow, we have a telephone, we have telephone service, we can call anywhere, we have that medical doctor on the phone 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, looking at us and giving a helping hand. It's a game changer, and able to have life insurance, accidental or otherwise, at a very, very, really inexpensive. It's dollars that I'm talking about. And depending on the country, it'll be depending on the amount. But these are things that are extremely helpful to people. We're working on other technologies to add on there that are really groundbreaking, that'll assist people. So in the future, this cellular phone that you have is going to be your lifestyle. You're going to have almost everything on there, including monitoring what you're doing health-wise, what you may want to eat, what you shouldn't be eating, all personalized to you. Now, this is a big deal. So Rock Mobile, R-O-K Mobile, is something I've been very interested in as an investor, and I've invested millions into it because I know it's good for mankind and will change things.
You're going to make me cry. I mean, I used to work in the insurance industry, and I cannot tell you, I was top agent for many years, can't tell you how many people I would sit down with, and they would say, I had this loved one passed away, and we had to have a car wash to pay for the funeral. We didn't have enough money, and it's heartbreaking.
Because it's pretty expensive, too. But then again, it is expensive. But in our case, these are big insurance companies we work with, not little ones, big ones. But they know that because of all the people around the world that will be, placing this with, that it made sense to have the rates so low that it made sense to them. And to us, we can work off teeny-weeny margins. We don't need big margins, mainly because I paid for everything in cash, and my partner did too. But mainly myself, that my investment was all cash, so there's no bills due, only a regular operating expense. Wow. So it gives us a little advantage there.
Well, I'm going to be looking into it for my own personal uses, and I know there's so many people out there who don't have anything in place. This is the perfect thing to get Rock Mobile. You want to make sure to visit rockmobile.com for that. John Paul, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show with us today. Man, we really appreciate your time.
Marianne, you believe it, and also it's my pleasure. By the way, I'm going to send you one of those new phones. They'll be here in the States in about another month or two, and I'll get one in your hands. You can check it out.
Oh, my goodness. I cannot wait. That's so exciting.
Oh, my pleasure. Yes, thank you. And remember this, everybody, success unshared is failures.
What powerful words to live by, John Paul. I love it. Absolutely love it. And again, thank you so much for taking the time with us today and sharing your great news with us about Rock Mobile, which people can go to. It's rokmobile.com. You can learn more about that, as well as Abio Life Sciences. And that website is abio.com, and that's spelled AUBIO.com. They're perfect for stocking stuffers and gifts for anybody this upcoming holiday season. Well, we're at the end of our time today. I would like to thank everyone for tuning in. You've been listening to Moments with Marianne. And remember, make every moment count.
In a single moment, your life can change. Moments with Marianne is a transformative hour that covers an endless array of topics with the best of the best. Her guests are leaders in their fields, ranging from inspirational authors, top industry leaders, and business and spiritual entrepreneurs. Each guest is gifted and a true visionary, a recognized leader in her own work, and while teaching others to develop, refocus, and grow, Marianne will bring the best guest and sometimes a special surprise. Don't miss this. You never know just which moment will change your life forever. Moments with Marianne airs every Thursday, Friday, and Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Make sure to tune in and visit momentswithmarianne.com for more information.